My project is with the manager of Starbucks, Kayla. She's been with the company for 8 years. She started there when she was 16, and she's only 23, and she is a manager of a store. Her responsibilities range from making up schedules, doing inventory, training people, hiring people, and of course meetings with the district managers and other managers. For her, the biggest challenge is her age, because people don't take her seriously, not even people that work at our store. Most of our store is under the age of 25, so there's a big age difference between our store and other stores. However, she is also one of the most high volume stores in most of the Midwest Hemisphere. Though her age does hold her back, it also helps her a lot because she's been given a lot of responsibilities and has moved up throughout the company while she was going to school. One of the things that she works on the most is making sure her employees do exactly what they're supposed to and meet her standards, the standards that the company set, but hers are raised to a higher bar. Everybody's assigned daily tasks of what they have to do before they're done with the day, their goal for how much they need to sell, and also just general tasks that have to be done daily. So at the end of the night, certain things have to be washed and cleaned every night, while certain things during the week get done just once a week. She makes sure that it's done. If it's not done, her standards is to write someone up, and they get about 2 warnings before they're penalized for it. She's only had to fire one person since she has been at the store, which has been 6 months now. One of the things that she is competent in and definitely feels she needs to work harder at is being able to separate each employee as an individual and not work or look at the store as a whole, because each employee has to be set to a different standard in her mind. She feels that everybody should be held accountable for what they do, and that punishments are given out because of that. The store has been given handbooks and stuff like that for when she transferred over to become our manager, and the handbooks she gave us clearly state that if we're late, we get written up. If our tasks aren't done, we get written up. If we don't treat customers with respect and make things properly, then we have to go through retraining. And anybody who doesn't want to follow these rules, their first penalty is to have hours taken away. Once their hours are taken away and they still don't comply, then they go through training. If they still can't do their job after their retraining, then they're let go. When they're let go, they're given a bunch of slips that show what they've done wrong, and then they're also signed by that person so that they are understanding that they were fairly warned and shown what to do, and they agreed that they would change or fix it for later. Then after that, they get 1 week of whatever vacation hours they have, unless they didn't have vacation hours, and then they're no longer with the company. For her, she has to write a description whether or not the employees can be rehired. She has had 2 different stores since she has been manager, and she's been a manager for 3 years now. Since she's been a manager, she's only had to fire 2 people, which she feels like is a really big deal because she is so young, but also because it shows that her stores respect her and actually treat her the way that she should be and do their job the way they signed up to do it. Another problem that is faced at the store, or she's noticed throughout working at the company, is different training discrepancies. So she feels that everybody has to be retrained, whether they come from another store to work for her, or if they're a new hire, or when she goes to a new store. She, over a week or 2 weeks, will retrain her staff or the new hire, to her standard, and everything is stated in her employee handbook, which she feels is very important to have. And the person who can't follow that, again, goes through retraining and everything like that, but she tries to work with each of her employees to the best of her ability to make sure that they can do what she's asking and that they know the knowledge of what she needs them to do so that there aren't any problems and she doesn't have to fire anybody unless it's completely necessary. Another thing that she does, which most of the managers do not, is that she will open and close her store. She feels that she should have to work the same hours that we do. She also feels that she has to do the same job that we do. She gets to know all the customers, she gets to know all the employees, she gets to know her store. She cleans her store just like her employees do. She feels that if she asks us to do something, she better be able to do it herself. Otherwise, it's not fair or right. When she's working on stuff for the store, she's out front, she's watching her employees, she's making sure things are done right, she's interacting with her customers. She feels that being able to interact with your customers and know them on a personal basis, hear them, do things for them, get to know them, that's what helps a company, that's what helps a store. And she's very personable with her customers, just like she expects her staff to be, to get to know her customers, to work with them, to listen to them, to fix anything that they do wrong. Every employee is held accountable, including her. So if she makes a mistake, it's on her, and she owns up to it. Every time, she will call her district manager and let him know what's happened, what's gone on, and she works really hard to fix it so that she can also keep her job, because she has set her standards so high. Her managers look to see that she's doing the same thing that she's asking us to do. She has been with our store for 6 months, and we have been checked by EcoSure 3 times now, because it's every few months we get checked. And since she has been with our store, the store has gotten the highest marks that it has ever gotten, and they have also gotten the highest marks in the district. So all the other stores have been held up to a higher standard for scores because it can be done, and it should be done, because let's face it, it's a food service industry, it should be clean. Also, she has passed and surpassed the previous managers for the Glenview area EcoSure test. They do their own test, they walk through, they make sure that everything's neat and clean and that it's held up to the standards of the town or city. Theirs isn't as hardcore as EcoSure is, but they still go through and check things. They still check water temperature, they check to make sure that everything's clean, sanitized, that there's nothing expired around, there are no bugs, nothing like that. And she makes sure every day when she comes in, and her managers or assistant managers that have keys also look to check to make sure all these things are done, so that we don't have to go back and refix something, or that there's not a problem that develops later on. Because the minute something goes wrong with our store and it closes, that's it, we're out of jobs. She feels that we're all held accountable for everything, and if we don't take pride in our store and our work, and we don't work hard for things, then we aren't going to make any money, and we aren't going to be a good establishment. For someone as young as she is, she definitely takes pride in her work. She continuously tries to find new ways to interact with us, interact with customers, find new ways to make the store better, make the drinks that we make better, and she looks out for her employees as well as her customers.